Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk animated shows and movies here, especially Miraculous Ladybug and The Owl House. Find everything about us at overlyanimated.com. I'm your host, Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And April Collins.
Hi there.
Miraculous Ladybug Season 5 marches on with us covering the Disney US English dub releases. Today we're talking episodes 17 and 18, Adoration and Emotion. We have been watching in order, going by the Disney US English dub releases. Spoilers only up to the episodes we're covering in this podcast, up to 18 and before. Please, absolutely no spoilers past where the Disney US dub is at anywhere in the comments or anywhere you would interact with the podcast. We are not spoiled, especially now that the finale's aired somewhere. Please, please, please. No spoilers, please. We can survive these next 2-ish months because Disney is not stopping. They're going to air it right to the finale, so we can do the stretch run together, guys. It'll be great.
Wait,
Okay.
Are they really just airing it continuously until the...
Confirmed. We're excited.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. Either the last week of August or first week of September, so as of now.
I love having heart palpitations every Saturday.
Oh,
Me too. I'm so excited.
Implying you didn't just watch this latest episode.
I watched the other one last week.
Every weekend, that's fair. Okay, but first...
I died today, so...
Fair.
We'll get to that. And we have a very climactic emotion episode, so we're going to naturally delay that and first do a review of the Miraculous Ladybug cereal. How about it?
Woo!
As promised last podcast, this cereal is strawberry macaron and marshmallow flavored.
Yeah, so I didn't know there were marshmallows until I the third time I looked at the box. So I finally bought them at the store, and Dylan had forgotten all about this, and I was like, cereal is secured.
Oh, yeah.
And Dylan was like, all right.
Cereal is secured. Does
Secured.
it look like anything Ladybug now that you poured it into the bowl?
No. So that's the other thing, appearance wise. So we have these little marshmallows. They're red and black, except some of them are they're two colors. Some of them they don't know if they're red or black.
Did you get the box with Ladybug or Cat on it, or is it double-sided?
It has both of them. So it's mainly Cat, but Ladybug's there.
Okay, so you got I think there's a one with Ladybug primarily. So you naturally got the Cat box. Got it.
I did. I don't know if there were other boxes. I will say I was in a bit of a rush, and I was in Walmart, and I wanted to get out.
Yes, that is how one does in Walmart. But yeah,
Walmart has Ladybug cereal and the Ladybug gotchas, and I'm addicted to them. So
the gotchas are good. Okay, Delaney.
And they have Ladybug yogurt.
Oh yeah, we should do the yogurt next. Yeah,
I have had.
Wait,
yogurt.
what kind of yogurt is it again?
I don't. It's weird flavors. Tanya liked it. I don't remember. There's 2 flavors, and I can't remember what they are. And I'll have to look.
It's like Go-Gurt, right?
No, they're they're kind of like in Danimals containers.
Okay, but it's like Danimal. Yeah, it's like Dan. It's not like Greek yogurt. It's like Danimal's yogurt.
It's not like Greek yogurt.
I just wonder if it's something that I can eat because
it's probably very sugary.
You're probably right.
I bet, considering it's a Ladybug product.
They're really weird flavors. I'll have to look.
Okay, Delaney, take it away with the cereal.
Yes.
Right. So appearances. Some of them don't know what color they are. I'm mixing it in. I'm having this with vitamin D whole milk.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna have a bite. Okay, when I opened the box, the smell was overpowering, and at first I was like, "What does this smell like?" And it kind of smelled like strawberry milk, like you would get at school, which I didn't drink, by the way, because that's toxic. And if you drink it in school, you probably are radioactive now. So and then Tanya had some, but she wouldn't show me her face, so she wouldn't
spoil the reaction video, the reaction audio. Okay.
Yeah. So all right.
Want to hear the crunch?
Too.
There's a little bit of a crunch. Some of it's still soggy. I'm not really okay. There's a little bit of strawberry. It just kind of tastes like cereal, a really strong, which I'm okay with. If it was really strong strawberry, it'd probably be nasty. It's up there with. I had the Pokemon cereal. I don't know if y'all have had that. It looks identical to this. It has marshmallows and it's just yellow and blue balls. So this is very similar to that, except it's not as hard, so it's not going to tear my mouth up, which is good.
Is it like Captain Crunch? What does it taste like? Like Trix?
It doesn't really. I'm not getting a lot of the fruity flavor. I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
Okay. More strawberry. It's akin to like crunch, like to Captain Crunch berries, which is what I ultimately decided it
Crunch
smells like. It
berries.
smells like Captain Crunch. Oops, all berries.
That's okay.
Interesting.
I like that there's marshmallows in it. I think that like really saves the cereal. I didn't pour myself a big bowl, but like it's a bowl of cereal, so I'm just gonna be sitting here eating this the whole pod. So I probably shouldn't have had 3 slices of pizza. I probably should have just had 2. So this will be fun.
Okay. So if you hear Delaney eating, that's the sound. Anyway, what's the do you need to eat more? Or are you ready to render a verdict?
So like, do you want me to give it a letter grade or like
give it a letter grade.
Yeah.
C+?
Okay.
I mean, that's technically passing.
I mean, it's higher than I anticipated I was going to give it.
I know.
Honestly.
I was anticipating an F, so that's a good job, Ladybug.
Good job.
Big
Like
go team.
I'm like kind of known like in my family as that person who like buys like, why did you buy that? You know it's awful. Like I was like banned when I was younger from picking out new cereal because I would be like, I want this, and then I'd have it and it was nasty and my dad would have to eat it. I've also done this with Pop-Tarts. So this was kind of right up my alley.
Okay. Thank you, Delaney. Okay. That it not being terrible ruined my title suggestion for the podcast, but I'll adapt it and we'll see.
Oh, man.
Well, okay. Well, that's okay. I mean, it's not great. I will say the cereal's better than the video game.
Oh, yeah. We did not like the video game. We were harsh on the video game. After they gave us the free copies, too. I don't think we're going to get any more free stuff.
I felt bad, but at the same time, I paid for my game. So I'm like, I'm going to say whatever I want.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, Zag or related parties, if you want us to review more products, send us them for free. Okay, thank you.
Yep. We'll do it.
Podcast@overlyanimated.com. You what?
I also love that they said it's strawberry macaroon flavored. Like it's not, but like I'm glad. I appreciate it.
You just taste strawberry and marshmallow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Tanya wondered because the other so they're red and black, and it's like so are the black balls also strawberry? But like I don't know.
You can't tell. Got it. Okay. Delaney will finish chewing. Delaney, do you want to let April go first on the thoughts while you finish?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's get into Adoration.
Like, it's getting soggy really fast.
And emotions. Delaney might speed run the cereal, but feel free to have it throughout the podcast and add in some crunch as it goes.
Add in the crunch.
Yeah, add in the Captain Crunch berries as it goes. Yes. we have 2 big episodes here, especially emotion. April, you both, I think, watched Emotion today, so there should be some fresh reactions. What were your reactions and overall thoughts on the episodes?
So I'm dead. Dylan said I could be dead until the end of today. So just take that into account that you're speaking to my ghost.
Was that a mistake? Or should you be dead on the podcast? I guess it's working so far. You can communicate with us.
Yes.
I was still limiting how dead you can be.
I told him I was dead, and he's like, "You can't be dead," and I was like, "But I am."
No, okay. This makes sense.
He said, "Okay, until the end of the day," and I was like, "Deal." Okay. Adoration was a good episode. Emotion was a lot. It evoked a lot of those, and I definitely died multiple times. And I
died and went to heaven or hell? Or to be determined.
To be determined. Yeah, I freaked out so many times in Emotion. Adoration too was a wild.
Did you get
ride.
Snapped out of existence?
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
So I didn't know what was going on. I'm really glad that in Adoration we had Chloe again. And I'm there for all of the gay love. Like, it's beautiful and it's sweet. But I'm also really confused about everyone's age as I continue to be as the show continues on.
Oh yeah.
And I understand the relationship problems between Mayor Bourgeoisie and his wife now. So there's a lot to unpack in these 2 episodes, especially Emotion. And welcome to my death.
Your funeral? Are you ready to go into the dead wife garden now?
Oh my gosh. I've been thinking about these dead human gardens for so long.
I know, now you're prepared. Now it's time. Are you ready? But your beloved Gabriel will be joining you.
We are going to have a discussion about that.
Okay.
Individual.
You and Gabriel, or the three of us?
The three of us.
Okay.
We're not talking to that man.
Oh, man. Delaney, what do you think of the episodes? Are you finished eating?
Yes, I still have some milk to drink, but I can take a break from my...
Okay.
Thank you.
I also have water, by the way, so I don't die.
I was going to say, you'll have to give us the milk review, too.
Oh, that's important, yeah.
Okay, so it's like kind of almost pink.
Okay.
It has bits in it.
That's fair.
I've had like sometimes you get like a smooth milk experience, but this is not one of those.
Oh.
I would eat it again. It's not my favorite. Okay, I will include this because it kind of has to do with Ladybug. So I watch Ladybug on my phone on the Disney Now app, and so there's ads, and they're predatory, directed towards children. And I kept seeing the cereal ad, and I actually bought the cereal. It's like these new Fruity Pebbles that are like bigger, so they like stay crunchy. Those are really good, just so y'all know. So yeah, it's like Fruity Pebbles Crunch. And then I think there's one, I think it's with the Cocoa Pebbles, but I don't eat those.
Cereal review of that one. I can't believe that
I like
the
it.
Targeted ads at Child Delaney worked.
No, I told Tanya, and she's like, I hate you so much. She's like, she's the one who was like, she goes, you mean the predatory ads towards children that they got you? And I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That checks out.
So she's like, it does check out. She's not impressed.
It checks out.
No, it's really bad. If I see an ad or anything, I'm like, I want that. And she's like, Tanya also hates that Dylan and I talk to each other daily because Dylan and I enable each other in the worst ways. Like, Dylan will be like, I got Taco Bell. And I'm like, Tanya, I have to get Taco Bell. And then I'll be like, I got Taco Bell. And Dylan's like, I'm going to get Taco Bell.
Yeah, now I want this Fruity Pebbles cereal. Now that you mention it. Okay, thank you.
That's good. So that cereal's way better. I also have some Captain Crunch. Just regular.
Oh, I love Captain Crunch.
That's actual good cereal. Okay, what about the episodes, Delaney?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it took me a minute to remember what happened in Adoration just because it was a week ago. But so Adoration is so gay. It's so good. By the way, last Saturday was my birthday, so happy belated birthday to me. So Dylan was like, this is Ladybug's present to you. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Because I don't normally watch it like the day it airs. And I was like, happy birthday to me. And it was just so gay. I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
My theory is that Disney, like, we had that weird month and a half gap between.
They did this.
I think they specifically scheduled Adoration for your birthday.
I think they had to. Like, they did it. And it is so good. It was, the validation. Like, Dylan was like, do you think Zoe's gay? And I was like, yes, duh. And then, again, she's gay for Marinette, obviously. And then they were like, here's this episode. Zoe is madly in love with Marinette. It's just... And Marinette's like... Not Marinette. Zoe's, like, so chill about it.
Yeah.
Incredible. Which, granted, it's because Zoe is so chill. But, like, so, one, Adoration's, like, great episode. Like, so good. Also ridiculous. Like, just this whole concept.
Utterly ridiculous.
That Marinette stole all of these things. Also, I'm not, like, I like how she got expelled. Like, really? That's, like... But they let Chloe, like, just walk off after she tried to frame Marinette. Like, it's crazy. Yes. So Adoration's great. Zoe and Marinette are super cute, and I'm still gonna ship them. I don't care. No, it was so every time Marinette was like, ooh, who is he? And I'm just like, you're so dumb. And then like Zoe is just like literally making hard eyes at her the whole episode. And I'm like, Marinette, you're so dumb. Dumb. And it's so good. Also, like, there's just been some great moments this season where, like, the censors are like they don't even know. Or they're like, we have to let this go even though it makes us mad. Like, I didn't know anything could be better after they did I Love Julica, and then, like, the longest pause in the history.
We thought that was the pinnacle, but it was not.
Like, we really did. And then this, and so they didn't say I love you, but they, like, stared. Like, it was just Zoe staring at Marinette, like, duh.
So
good. So good.
Yes. We'll come back, but Delaney,
and they had a hug.
Yes, we need your emotion reactions, though. Delaney.
Okay, emotion. All right, so I'm like stressed. Dylan's like, get ready. And I'm like, I don't want to. So I've been doing homework like for the past 2 days and wanting to die. So I finished my homework and I like get like a 5 minutes apiece. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this episode. And so normally Tanya's not home because she works, but so Tanya's on the couch and I'm in my chair and Tanya's like, I hate that I can hear this. I'm getting stressed. So Tanya's also stressed this whole time listening to the episode. And I have to keep pausing going, So I figured out the twist like a little early. It wasn't hard to figure out. But I was also a little spoiled, not for the twist, but I knew Felix was coming.
Okay, that was one of the things you're spoiled on, just the image of
One
Felix.
of the things I was spoiled on was Felix
wearing
Felix
the costume.
Wearing the Actually, now that I think about it, I don't remember if I saw the hood. Like I know Felix was like, it might have been Felix just transforming. Like I knew Felix was using the peacock. That's like the only thing I knew.
I mean, and it's not really a spoiler. We knew it's
not really.
play at some point.
So I knew Felix. I got the twist ahead of time. Unfortunately, it was spoiled for me because it was just before I like completely blocked Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, April, that was a prescient move on you not going on Twitter anymore. You were ahead of the curve on that. Now everyone's dropping off Twitter.
Yeah, well,
you're not even seeing all the terrible stuff that's happening.
But so the picture that did me in was literally of like a screenshot of Marinette and Felix dancing, but he looks like Adrian, and it said like the caption was something like Marinette and Felix, blah 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 blah, and I was like,
wow,
what? And I was like, I'm done with.
Are people shipping Marinette and Felix?
No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like super spoilery, but it was like Felix is back and dancing with Marinette.
Okay. All things considered, that's at least you're not spoiled on the finale or something.
Yeah. No, well, and that was like, I don't know, like a month or so, on a couple more.
It just aired though, so hopefully you haven't just seen something.
Right? No, I didn't. So what I saw was
okay. Don't tell us.
Well, I was gonna tell you it's someone who works on the show. It's their like art. Like it was like kind of like promo.
Hopefully not. Anyway.
Yeah,
but yeah, so
I detail on it that I was like, gasp.
But so I've been keeping that in for like this entire time from y'all.
Okay, thank you. Good job, April. Good job.
That's the only thing. I just knew Felix was like gonna come before the end of the season, basically.
Yeah, okay, we knew Felix would come back. So whatever. Anyway. Yeah. Anything else, Delaney?
So yeah, I figured it out that it was Felix. I wasn't spoiled for that. I just knew that he was coming. I did freak out though when I was like, so I'm like clicking on the episode and I can see that it's like the diamond ball and I'm like, no. Like I was so stressed clicking on it. I really like this episode. It's really also like we're gonna have to talk for like 20 minutes about Ladybug being like, yeah, we just have to see what happens. Like, girl, what?
Yes.
Me and that yo-yo are gonna have a conversation. That's all I'm gonna say.
You and that yo-yo.
Yeah, the yo-yo.
There was like a lot happening in this episode, but it also feels like a lot didn't happen.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if Gabriel is just like, I know he's a giant jerk, but I wonder if the cataclysm has gotten to his brain, and that's part of why he's like going cuckoo.
Like he's having
cuckoo
he's
for
got
Cocoa
brain
Puffs,
damage,
if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I think
it's a good theory. He's brain damaged. That's why he's been relying on ninth grader, I guess.
Yes.
Apparently they're in ninth grade. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Also, Kagami telling Lila that she's just a stone is like the greatest thing that has ever happened. For me personally ever. So good. I was so good. And then Tanya has to keep being like, who's Lila? I'm like, she's just some girl who hates Marinette.
Tanya doesn't know who Lila is after all you rant about Lila?
She doesn't know.
It hasn't come up?
Right.
Well, she just knows I hate her.
But she's asking for additional context on Lila.
Yeah, also,
the answer is there's no really additional context for Lila.
No, that's the thing. Also, she just forgets. I'm like, Lila is literally just this girl who hates Marinette. That's all she's gonna go.
That is all that.
No, Lila just wants to be friends with Marinette. Oh, Marinette who hates Lila.
I paused and yelled. I was so mad.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah. April, did you rewatch Emotion?
Yes.
Okay. Delaney's not rewatched, but yeah,
Of course
it's a
I
lot.
did.
Of course, you'd put yourself through that pain again. I'm just wondering for the context because it is a lot. These are great episodes. I really love Adoration. It's gonna get overshadowed a little bit, but I actually think this is a fantastic episode. The ending is great with the confessions and stuff, and Gabriel lurking at the end.
Wonderful. Oh, Gabriel.
He's the worst.
But just generally, the Zoe and Marinette scenes are all absolutely like some of my favorite of the season. Every single one of them. There's just a lot of talking about like queerness and Ladybug being overtly gay. We're gonna talk about that for sure. It might come towards the end, but it's a huge moment. There's like the Zoe Chloe stuff coming back from season 4, and I thought this was the best it's ever been, just because it was like integrated really well into everything that happened.
Yes.
Your solution to Chloe is just to gaslight her, and it's amazing.
I love it.
I don't know if that's a good message for dealing with bullies,
It's
but
not a good message, but it works for Chloe.
that was pretty good. And Lila, like, it integrates Chloe, Zoe, and Lila stuff too. I think in the best way so far. It's all like integrated really well, and it's everything except for like kind of that Eiffel Tower like accusation scene which is a little bit silly, but it's still fun. But other than that, it's probably one of my favorites of the season. I just love all the Zoe and Marinette stuff. Emotion is really good. I think it might be a great all-time Ladybug great episode, but I really don't know. It's so hard to say. I think it moves.
This season's just been banger after banger.
It has been for real.
It's true.
I think the emotion moves a little too fast, like a lot of the big Ladybug plot episodes. That being said, it is really exciting and absolutely gorgeous with the Argos scenes at the end with Felix. It's like really cinematic, him walking through Paris and stuff like that. That was gorgeously done.
Singing for no reason is great.
Yes, obviously I love that.
He's clearly related to Gabriel.
Yes.
I mean, if you're a clone, if you're like a fake person clone of someone, does that mean you're related to them?
Oh, I don't know about that anymore.
Yeah, right. The theme of control is really good in the episode. It's just very distracting. I liked Emotion more the second time than the first time. I was very distracted because Felix doesn't tell Adrian he's a Sentimonster, and I didn't. And I think that's the big. I don't know if you guys agree. Like I was like, how is Adrian walking away from this episode not knowing he's a Sentimonster?
Right.
Or Kagame for that.
Or Kagame. That was like very distracting to me. I think that there are reasons why he could not tell them that we can discuss. I just think that it was it was a inevitable huge takeaway, at least for myself, from this otherwise fantastic episode, that it really didn't move anything along. I think you could argue Emotion didn't do anything that we didn't know other than bring Felix back.
True.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess obviously, I guess if you want to say, we now know for sure confirmed that Felix is a Sentimonster.
Yes, which we were, that's honestly like the only thing that we were kind of, which the season 4 finale really did.
Is it confirmed as Sentimonster? Because I kind of got the opposite impression.
We'll go through the evidence, April. Okay.
Okay, please, because I'm like on the fence, but like the first time I was just like, oh, everybody's a Sentimonster, and then the second time around I was like, but wait, is Felix?
Okay,
it had me second guessing myself.
We'll see what you say. I'll present the apparent evidence, and you can say what you thought. But anyway, Felix popping up again randomly after a long time is continually frustrating. I think the show, given that that's what they did this season, I think this episode does as good of a job as it can with it. I just wish they seeded it better. Like everything else this season has been seeded so well, just not Felix. But other than that, I do think it is a great episode. It's just a lot and fast, and it's frustrating that there's not any major movement in the end.
Yeah. Especially because they were building this up.
This feels like one of the big tentpole episodes of the season. However, like some of the least progress is made in the end, which I guess is classic Ladybug. I feel like
Felix planted a lot of seeds.
Yes.
If that
so
makes
I
sense.
think it is a stepping stone towards, I assume, everything happening in the finale. We'll talk about that. Okay, let's get into everything with Felix coming back as Argos. What do we think of him as Argos?
I don't know why he needs a villain name, but cool.
Yeah.
What do you think of his outfit?
It's great. He looks like what's his face from Owl House.
Yes. the collector.
Yes.
Oh, he's the collector.
And I thought it was so cute.
He does look really.
Baby.
He's like in his little jammies.
Felix is very collector-esque. I like that comparison.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he's a nice. He's the little peacock fan.
I love that he just like doesn't hold back. He's like, bam, I'm here. I'm like, I have the Peacock Miraculous now.
Yeah,
what are you guys gonna do about it?
Delaney, what was your biggest thing that you reacted to from everything with Felix?
That's tough.
What was like the most shocking thing?
I don't know if I. That's tough.
April, what about you?
Him, all of the times that he like said how much he cared about Adrian, and then the fact that he stashed away Marinette, so Adrian would be happy with him.
And then he's like flipping out. He's like, "Where is she?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just a lot constantly with him, right? But
yes,
I think the most shocking thing is that he has been lurking in order to unleash some huge villain move. Like this was his big thing.
Right.
It's like we didn't really speculate. I think most things we speculate about Felix actually are true in this episode, which is nice. That it feels very natural based on the season 4 finale. Everything with Felix here. It's just we didn't think he'd make this big villain turn, kind of. And the episode paints it as him just being overcome with anger, kind of, and this not naturally being what he would do.
He's not even like really out like portrayed as a villain. He's more so like seems like his motivation seems to be doing it out of his love and care for Adrian. And,
well, you know, big old Gabe's motivation is to do it for his dead wife, you know?
Yeah, but like he was just like, I'm just here to make sure that like we can just do whatever we want and no one's here to like tell us what to do or make us do anything. And so it's such a unique, I don't want to call it a strategy, but like it seems very self-driven, but also not, because he obviously included like Kagame in these plans.
It just seems really sad. He's just a sad little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting follow-up to that like episode 3 appearance we got from him. I did not know he would do, because like we're like, why doesn't Felix just go visit Adrian in his room and tell him the truth?
But also, why haven't we known that he's been missing up until now?
I don't think he was.
So he explains that he had been biding his time, but he ran off from his mom, I guess, and was watching Adrian for the right moment. I actually think at the end they kind of say that it's kind of implied that this was all made up to test Gabriel. We can go over that scene at the end. I didn't get that impression. Let's talk about that. He says, Amelie says like, Felix, you were right. Gabriel and everyone else, they're all monsters. And Felix says, not all of them. So what are you interpreting from that?
Well, she said something to like, I did everything you said.
Did she say that? I can go back.
She said something to that effect, that she said what he told her to say, and Gabriel didn't react.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least her running in. Okay, so maybe she knew Felix was. Yeah, so maybe she made up that Felix was missing. Okay, I see. I can see that.
I can see that.
Because it did seem weird that she ran in like that. So that could have been staged. I don't think the episode made this super clear if that's what it was going for.
It wasn't. But I do think, based on the ending scene, that's what it seemed like to me. Was that this was all just a game.
There's definitely some previous discussion that they had for sure was at least confirmed by that scene.
And she knows. Yeah. That he has the Miraculous.
Right, because he initially talks to her as...
well, it makes me wonder if she told him from the beginning, or if he realized he was a Sentimonster after getting the Peacock and the book.
Yeah, so I definitely think we thought he knew he was a Sentimonster before the season 4 finale.
Yes.
Yeah.
So... At what point does Amelie know this? Does he tell Amelie? We don't know any of that, I think.
Well, she would have to know that he's a Sentimonster, right?
I mean, in theory, you would think. We're gonna get caught up in the Felix stuff again, but I think most importantly, we can come back to this.
It's hard not to get caught up in the Felix stuff.
In terms of the Felix stuff that we don't know enough about, I think what we did learn for sure was that his motivation here is to free Adrian.
Yes.
And now Kagami, my interpretation, tell me if you guys agree. I think in the beginning when he saw the ring on Kagami, he realized she was a Sentimonster too, but he didn't know until now.
Those were my exact feelings.
Which you see better on rewatch because initially you don't know that that's Felix and not Adrian.
Well, I thought that was him realizing she has her object.
It's possible he realized something. It's possible he knew that Kagami was a Sentimonster. He didn't know she had her own object. Yes, that is the other possibility. I agree. I think.
I was gonna say, but then that makes that sort of conversation with her a little bit weird. But I guess not too, because he's kind of like testing the waters with her.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
While he's quote unquote flirting with her and saying like we could run away right now, blah 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 blah, and she's like, we can. And he's like, well then are you really free? Like, because I wonder if he maybe was trying to see if she knew like what he knows. Like, hey, let's
go through some of these big lines towards the end. So Felix walks through empty Paris after he snaps everyone away. Then he snaps back Adrian in front of Kagami. He says, I created a better world for my favorite cousin, a world where you're free. Everything I did for you. We didn't know this. We speculated heavily that he would be very sympathetic to Adrian, but we didn't really know. I love that this is the direction we go with Felix. So I think this is a great move. Making him be an agent for Adrian, but not one that behaves in the way Adrian would prefer if he knew Felix was on his side, which is interesting. I guess it makes for a more dramatic effect. We see him creating the Red Moon in a flashback. He said, together we're going to save Adrian from my uncle's grasp so he can finally be free. To Adrian Kagami, he says, for weeks I'd been waiting for the perfect opportunity to set you free, to set you both free. So this is the line that I think confirms that he might not have known Kagami's Sentimonster until now. He says, perfect opportunity to set you free, to set you both free. It's like an addendum, it feels like, to Adrian.
Yeah.
Maybe he just cares about Kagami less because it's not like his cousin, Sentimonster twin.
Yeah, or maybe just like he cares now because he knows
that's what I got from that line, but it is a little ambiguous. But yeah, there's some very careful phrasing of stuff in this episode. It's very well put together. To set you free, to set you both free. And then he says to set us all free and offer us a new world where no one can tell us what we can or can't do. Just the three of us, we have everything we need to be happy. So my question from this dialogue, does just the three of us, we have everything we need to be happy, to set us all free? Is this the official confirmation Adrian is a Sentimonster in addition to Kagami and Felix?
I would say so.
Yes.
So, April, that would be the evidence there for Felix being a Sentimonster. In addition, he says to the moon at the end, can you forgive me, my friend, my sister?
My sister.
Yeah.
I think that feels a little bit more, like that line there definitely solidifies, now that I'm thinking about it, because I forgot about that's that what line. Confirmed
that he's
that was the most direct. My sister to the Sentimonster, yeah.
To a Sentimonster that he created, like, and it doesn't seem like he ever had any intention of like releasing her from existence. So, because I mean, he's also a Sentimonster, but I forgot about that line, and now that sort of solidifies it. The only thing that, I can't remember what made me have my doubts. My brain's not working because I'm dead.
Oh yeah, it comes back. That's right. But no, it's okay. I mean, it's certainly like phrased ambiguously, but this is maybe the most direct again. I would argue that, because I said in the beginning, this episode doesn't move anything forward. I would argue Adrian and Kagami were confirmed 2 episodes ago, right? In 16.
Right. I mean, you're of the same design is what I was like, wow.
Right. So there's very explicit dialogue about both Adrian and Kagami. I agree this episode confirms Felix. That being said, I think in the season 4 finale podcast, we probably said Felix confirms Sentimonster. So I think we've said that already. Yeah. It's just especially confirmed now. And we had our doubts.
It's more in your face confirmed.
And we had our doubts since then. It's just like, it's like season 5 confirmed.
It's possible for them to confirm things.
For weeks, I'd been waiting for the perfect opportunity to set you free, to set us both free. Set us all free, a new world where no one can tell us what we can or can't do. Like, is this explicitly Adrian is the Sentimonster confirmed now? Like that. There's no other alternative interpretation of these lines, right? Like this to me,
yes.
it's frustrating that the show feels the need to not say Adrian is a Sentimonster. But I think this is
until he finds out.
Yes.
Right. I think that's probably what we're waiting to put into words. I think this is the show's version of confirming it for now.
It's like their version of confirming it without the character.
Without Adrian knowing. Okay, yeah. I like that interpretation.
Well, without Adrian knowing and without like Kagame knowing. Because it almost seems like Felix is like, especially with his conversation with Kagame, it's like it really does feel like he's testing the waters to find out if she knows that she is a Sentimonster or not. And I mean, obviously while tempting her at the same time. But then I think it becomes very like evident to him that he's like, oh yeah, like she doesn't know. And obviously Adrian doesn't know. And I don't think he wants to be the person to tell Adrian. Yeah, which is probably why he leaned very heavily into that conversation.
Yeah, so let's come back to that.
He also thinks that Adrian wouldn't believe him.
Yes, yeah. Which is why.
Like, would you believe Felix? No,
but he would believe Kagame because she's smart. She can figure it out.
Well, it makes me wonder if she'll figure it out or if her mom will tell her.
For Kagame, yeah, it's interesting. Okay, yeah, we'll come back to the confirmation since you guys got to. That was when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, does Felix think it's not his place to tell Adrian, right? Like, it's not.
Yeah.
If you put yourself in Felix's shoes in this episode, he impersonates Adrian. He learns that Adrian is in love and has this amazing girlfriend, I guess now, not that they said that. He has this life that he is thriving in more than he is. Felix feels he has nothing. He says he's nothing to lose. Adrian does have something to lose with Marinette. He learns that in this episode several times, including from Marinette. So is it Felix's place to shatter that world for him by saying that's who he is? That being said, he does try to shatter his world by snapping everyone out of existence. So I think that it's kind of like a weird tightrope that to walk. He doesn't want to take Marinette away, so you could argue that he didn't want to shatter the one thing he knows that he has, but he wanted to free him from the other aspects of his life. That was Felix's intent.
Because I think they talk a lot about monsters. And so
I love the use of monster episode several times. Yeah.
Yes, I loved that use. And so I think that it's one of those things where like
they're the monsters, not me, because I'm a Sentimonster. They're the monsters.
Yeah, they're the monsters. And so he doesn't want to tell Adrian because then he becomes associated with that sort of bad news. And he's like, Gabriel should be the one to let him know because Gabriel's already the monster. Like, he started all of this. Or he hasn't told him. He's been controlling him, X, Y, and Z. And so it's almost like he doesn't want to be bad by association, if that makes sense.
That's another good interpretation. He doesn't want to associate this, like, people controlling him in Adrian's minds. He doesn't think maybe thinks it does in his place. Maybe, as Delaney said, doesn't think he'd believe him or something. There's a lot I agree there's a lot of valid reasons for him not to tell him once you think about it. It's weird because he's taking these drastic moves and is clearly kind of, for lack of a better term, deranged in some way in this episode, or like emotionally controlled by his anger. So like why he would be thinking about that but not thinking about snapping everyone else away, it's weird. And it kind of doesn't make the most sense overall, but I think that it's like once you take a second from the episode, it's fine that Felix wouldn't tell him. I just think in the structure of the season and the show, it's hard not to be frustrated that Adrian as Sentimonster is not said, that Adrian does not know after literally everyone else in Paris was gone except for the three of them. And this is a perfect time to tell Adrian, right? Like, how does that not happen? I guess Felix just didn't want to for one of potentially several valid reasons, but it's frustrating.
Very frustrating.
That being said, what my feelings on this are like, the Sentimonster stuff this season has been really fun. I love how big they're playing it. Like so prominent. So I'm on board. I'm here for the ride with what the season is doing with it.
And that might be the finale.
I think ultimately they're probably saving Adrian finding out for the finale.
I mean, you have to think about it. I mean, this is world-shattering information.
Yeah.
We wanted him to have more time to sit on it. Like, once again, it's the same thing with Marin and Adrian dating earlier, although they are dating mid-season now. It's like, it would have been cool to see Adrian process this over the course of many episodes, and maybe he will. Maybe this will be like an episode 22 or 23 thing, right? Like, and then he'll have a few episodes to process it. But it would be nice. But what they're doing with the Sentimonster stuff is so great already. Just like building on it. I love that too. So I think it's okay ultimately. I just think it hurts the episode at least in terms of immediate reaction to it. But we'll just have to see how they follow up, right? It's going to be fun.
Yeah. I really hope that we get like Kagame's smart. She figures it out kind of thing. Or if she doesn't even figure it out about herself, she figures it out about Adrian and then tells him.
You could argue that Adrian and Kagami have all the information in front of them right now, and they could figure it out on their own next episode.
Mm-hmm.
What did Felix mean that he wanted to free them and just create a world where they could be free and get rid of everyone else except them? Why them specifically?
Why did he talk about?
Well, it's like Adrian. It's almost like Adrian's kind of figuring it out because he's like, I feel weird.
Yeah,
Adrian is directly being controlled by his dad several times. He feels it. I think Adrian has all the information in front of him. It's just not the type of thing that a person is really capable of realizing and being self-aware of.
My new theory is that Natalie is going to break and tell him because of all the horrible things.
Right, we're building to something with Natalie, so that would be interesting.
Yeah, because Amelie kind of gave her a hard time, which she absolutely should. So
that's definitely valid that would happen. Felix, it seems like Felix won't be the one to tell him, but maybe he will later. Maybe Kagami figures it out and tells him, right? Like, there's a lot of options. Maybe Marinette, who's now going to go talk to Gabriel soon, could realize and tell him.
Well, I don't know, because I kind of got the impression that Gabriel is like, absolutely not. I'm not talking.
Okay, Marinette's just going to show up though. Like, what's it matter?
Right. So getting ahead of ourselves. But what?
I totally forgot about how he was just like, I never want to hear about Marinette ever again. Well,
he's such a jerk.
And he was fiddling with the ring. So I'm like, oh, so this is like secret dating now, right? Like, he just doesn't talk about Marinette to his dad.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to do what he thinks it's going to do. He's still going to be with Marinette. He's just going to tell him.
He should have chose his words more carefully.
Yeah, but Marinette and Adrian already, and even I guess it wouldn't have been forbidden anyway, they already talked about Marinette going to talk to Gabriel, and it's not like he can control Adrian to not have that happen. I guess he could tell Adrian to shut it down, but he didn't, so that should still happen pretty soon, right?
Yes.
Marinette's just going to show up.
Which is, that's the ultimate face-off of them in civilian form without knowing who each other is. Is this the best or worst line of the season from Gabriel? Natalie, I'm getting tired of Marinette Dupont Chang. She's starting to get in my way almost as often as Ladybug.
Hilarious.
Best line ever.
Okay.
Like, why haven't you figured it out, sir?
Also, he has not done enough to be like, Lila, I'm not Monarch. Like, dude, you messed up.
Yeah, he's underestimating people for sure. He says at the end, I've had enough of these people who don't know their place. Very interesting way to almost end the episode there. The most like blatantly like terrible thing, like generically, that Gabriel's ever said.
Yeah.
He's usually not he's usually not like a fascist. I know he does like fascist actions, but he's not like his attitude, right? Like, but he's totally lost here at the end. Is what they're kind of going for. Yeah.
Yes.
It's sad. I don't know. As the resident Gabriel stan of the podcast now, I'm very sad about this.
Yeah, you kind of are.
That my precious Gabriel, not April's anymore, is
he has had a very hard decline this season.
It's the cataclysm brain. Also, apparently, having your arm cataclysm makes you itchy.
Makes you itchy.
Yeah, that's
like
really
that. There's one acknowledgement from this episode that he's dying, even though he should be dead already.
He's
based on
his arm.
2 episodes ago. Before I forget, the only other thing Felix, we'll go through it all. Felix said to Gabriel before he snaps him away, "I'm freeing me, my mom, and Adrian from you," which is interesting. That he sees his mom. I don't think he's saying his mom is a Sentimonster, but I think he's like his mom was under his control as well, which could allude to maybe some flashback stuff. I don't know.
Well, I wonder if he just means it in a sense of like maybe that's like a black like a thing of blackmail for Gabriel over Amelie, because he does know like Felix is a Sentimonster, and you know what I mean, like hey, keep yourself in check, or we're gonna figure out how to get rid of your son. You know what I mean, like.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons why I think that just their family might be generally subservient to them, or there could be direct form of control, or like this could relate to maybe Amelie didn't want to create a Sentimonster son or something, or didn't, and she was kind of forced to secrecy or something for some reason, which could be interesting. If Amelie even knows, which we have really no idea. I would guess she does, and she will be in the flashback that we'll eventually see. I would guess.
I feel like she does. Like, it's hard.
I mean, I think it's implied that Gabriel kind of did some shady stuff because of the rings.
Yeah.
Like, not just because they're, like, the amok objects, but also because they're, like I don't know.
Maybe he, like, broke the law, and then, like, Amelie is, like, would go to jail, too, and so now, like, she's...
Or, like, I don't know, like, there's just something, because they're, Emily's family heirlooms.
Yeah, I don't want to get back into the rings, but... by the way, we don't know what Felix's object is, right? Because now we know for sure that we think we know from episode 16 that both of the rings are Adrian's object.
Yes,
they could all... And we think that Felix isn't being controlled, so probably the rings aren't his object. So what is his object?
That was the thought that popped into my head whenever whatchamacallit, they like that Felix wouldn't be a Sentimonster, was because we had always been under the impression that one of the rings was Felix's. And so in theory, like, you know, because in theory,
we don't know his object now, so it's a little shaky. I get that for sure. Yeah.
Well, so I will say, so he took off his own ring and put on, so here's my question. Did he put on Adrian's ring, or did he put on a mimic ring? Because he totally took his Miraculous.
I think it was a mimic ring.
Because I mean, he might be wearing...
The ring thing is confusing, so he swaps, he takes off...
And his ring is similar to Adrian's, so it makes me feel like
it could have just been an alliance ring that I guess it wasn't an alliance ring he put on. I don't know. No, I think it was a different ring.
I think it was like his, like it looked like his ring.
Like his ring is similar to Adrian's, but they're different.
Yeah, but it wasn't an alliance ring that
he put on his finger. That makes me. I think he has his object.
I definitely think he has his object,
and I think it might be that ring.
It makes more now that we know that probably the ring he gave Gabriel in season 4 was not his object. That makes a lot more sense that we were wondering about that. Mm-hmm. But I think we need some clarification on the rings. Maybe we're missing something. I didn't analyze the ring swapping scene in detail. Yeah, it is confusing. Shout out to Charlotte, who emailed us with a bunch of evidence on how both rings are definitely the ones that control Adrian, and had previously given us a very long Google Doc with all the Sentimonster evidence that we might refer to. So thank you. And thank you for no spoiler as emails if you do want to send to us.
Love it.
We love it. So we're saying, agree or disagree, between episode 16 and this episode 18, it is now confirmed that Adrian is a Sentimonster to us.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, let's check the season 5 predictions from last year.
Okay.
April said episodes 1 to 10, Adrian was confirmed a Sentimonster, although basically we've known, so it really could be anything. Delaney said episodes 1 to 10. I said episodes 1 to 10. We're all wrong. It was episodes 11 to 20.
Yay!
There we go.
I'm proud of us.
I said 11 to 20, Adrian knows he's a Sentimonster. Nope. So far, nope.
Nope.
I think looking good for the finale on that one.
Yeah.
Delaney has that for the finale. Delaney also has no identity reveal this season from the predictions.
That's not happening. It's not.
Okay, here's my note on this. Let's about before we go. So it's like let me find this. We had a big potential identity reveal.
Yes.
Identity. Can we get Amity in here? Identity reveal moments that the Marinette wasn't in the dumpsters because it's because Ladybug was so
I actually thought she was going to de-transform before she let like the sun take her or whatever.
So they could have figured it out. Like, how could possibly Felix not be able to snap?
I know.
Felix could have figured it out. They don't get there. Maybe they will in the future. This could have been a big moment.
Yeah.
So my question is, like, is there any reason to believe that we are going to get the identity reveal this season? We do not know.
I feel like we're playing, like, okay, so, like, I mean, theoretically, what if, like, I don't know, I feel like we're doing the Sentimonster, like, that's what's happening, because, like, there's no way we can do the reveal and Sentimonster at the same time, right? Like, that would
the big themes of the season are Sentimonster and Marinette and Adrian dating, right?
Right.
Well, identity reveal?
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 Wait, what? It feels like they haven't been building up to that as much as other things in the show.
Yes, but I will say that it felt very significant, the fact that Marinette was able to tell almost immediately that it was Felix and not Adrian.
True.
And then later on, when Ladybug is fighting with Argo, she brings that up again about how, like, you tricked me. And Felix seems like a smart kid now. So I feel like if anyone could, and then whenever, like, he went to go retrieve.
She was also mad. She was also referring to, like, previously.
Yes. But, like, she was referring to previously, but I mean, that seems like oh, we've gotten this figured out. Like, she's obviously figured out the whole Adrian thing very quickly now. And then for her to not be in the dumpster after he snaps away Ladybug, like, I feel like Felix could put the pieces together with that information alone.
I like the idea that Felix will figure it out now. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he's got too much going on and he won't figure it out.
He's a lot going on for sure, but it's possible.
But he doesn't.
Also, I just really appreciate how stupid everyone is when it comes to the identities. It's really funny.
Pretty dumb. Except someone has figured out an identity. By the way, why wasn't that dumpster in space that Marinette was put into? Get that thing into space.
It immediately take off into space?
Get that dumpster into space. Get out of here.
Put that dumpster in space.
Nax. Follow up on your space dumpster agenda, Nax and Mondre. Come on.
Also, what kind of name? Honestly,
I don't know. Is it a French name?
I don't know.
Simandre.
It
Someone figured out an identity though, and that is Lila.
Yes, she did.
Wait, are you on Team Lila now, April?
No, I'm never on Team Lila, but I love that she figured out Monarch's identity.
She's not this whole time, and she keeps telling. She's told him, and he's like, "I don't know why you're blah, 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 blah. Like, dude."
But this is even more interesting because Gabriel/Monarch has completely snubbed her and told her off. Like, he's done with her. And she knows his identity. So what's to stop her from going to Ladybug and Cat Noir?
Nothing.
And
what's to stop her is that she wants to use it for her own purposes.
Because drama.
Or they might not believe her, because Lila has
because it's Lila. That's true.
Has a tendency to lie as her character. But she says, "Then I'll show you that I'm not just some bottle of perfume, Monarch." Which is a follow up to another amazing Gabriel line. He was on fire at the end. My bottles of perfume are images of the Aggress brand too, and you don't see me inviting them to my events.
And then he punches the computer.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. I don't even know. Like, okay.
He's
was
going
that
out
in the budget? The technology budget?
He has infinite budget. So we said, I think last podcast I said I don't think Lila knows. So wrong. But the episode Adoration, I think, completely changes that. So that's why I said this isn't really new information at the end, because I think 17 basically confirms that Lila knows. Because she's like 3, 2, 1, and then the villain comes in, and Chloe says, "Are you a witch?" Which is good.
That was a good sign.
But we're just gonna wait, she says. So I mean, they make it much more obvious in 17 that Lila's orchestrating, knowing that the person she's talking to on the phone will akumatize her, that there's a direct causation there. So I think the show's built this up really well. There's a lot of doubt as to whether she knew or not. We know Gabriel doesn't think she knows. They eventually made it obvious and then confirmed it immediately. So another great build up, but it's interesting. Yeah. Well, how is this going to come into play? Delaney, any more interest in Lila? Your number one Lila hater. Any more interest now that she's anti-Monarch?
I'm excited that like Monarch's gonna get like his teeth kicked in by a bunch of children. Like, that's really what I appreciate, is that like he has made an enemy of like all these 15-year-olds and they're just gonna beat him up.
He's made an enemy of all of these women. He needs to really look
Like, they're
out.
literally just gonna kick him in the teeth. Like, that's what's gonna happen. And that's what
Led
he
by
gets.
Natalie.
Led by Natalie.
Natalie and Lila are just gonna beat him up. And, like, honestly, it's what he deserves for being such a jerk all the time.
Marinette's gonna go try to have a heart-to-heart to convince him to let her
He's
date
being
Adrinette.
such a jerk.
And then he's just gonna
like
beat her up.
Chloe now when it comes to Marinette. Like, I'm tired of Dupan Chang.
Also, Marinette has done literally nothing to you, you freaking jerk.
Besides interfere with his
we'll come back.
life plan.
Lila though, are we excited? How do we think this is gonna play out? She could tell someone. What else could she do?
Oh god, I want her to blackmail him so bad.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I'm just like, what is she like? I don't know. Like, my thing is, so she doesn't have a miraculous or anything. So she doesn't have like any magical like abilities, but I do think she can mess him up like IRL.
yes.
Yeah, I think it could be interesting what she could do. My biggest takeaway from this, other than that it's like kind of interesting that she's a factor in the end of the season now, is that, again, I said last podcast, I don't think Lila's being built up to be like the main villain of next season. I think that's different now that they had this big tentpole episode of the season, Emotion, and then she gets the last post-credit scene saying she's coming for the current villain. I do think we are on much more of a villain trajectory for Lila into season 6. I'm still skeptical she'll be the main villain of next season, but I could totally see her being like a major secondary villain.
It's just Felix, Chloe, and Lila.
Yeah, I think they're all kind of in the same tier of like, it's hard to see them as the main villain, but they could be big forces, while maybe Tomoe or Natalie or Emily are the kind of the main villain. Still probably the maybe top 3 candidates.
I don't know. I still feel like at the end of the season, like, we're gonna be kind of done with Lila.
This is like, I still, like I said last podcast, I think that it's tough for Lila to have too big of a role because she just has no character. She's no emotional motivation.
And we still don't know what her
we don't know what her. So it would be nice if this was her big swan song. It would be nice for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I would kind of be disappointed if we continued on with Lila after this.
But she's a lot more interesting now than before.
Yes.
In some regard, yes.
But she's also only interesting in opposition to Gabriel, so if you take Gabriel away, it probably collapses.
I was going to say, we're really building up this, like, Gabriel burning his bridges kind of situation, because
I think it's just to make us not feel bad for him when he dies.
Yeah, that's fair, because he's really out there ruining his own life.
He really is. He really is out there just causing problems.
The only person that, like, he kind of is on good terms with is Adrian, but that's like barely hanging on by a thread because Adrian doesn't know that he's being controlled by his father. So
yeah. And Natalie is contradicting the orders anyway.
Yeah.
What she could do to this.
Natalie's gonna step away soon, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, I need to go through to find the big Natalie.
No, Lila's like, Natalie, can you let me in? She's like, I'm gonna beat him up, and she'd be like, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Natalie says to Amelie, sorry, I have no choice. And Amelie says, there's always a choice, Natalie. Natalie almost implying she's a Sentimonster.
Yeah.
I have no choice.
Well, I wonder if Natalie feels like she doesn't have a choice anymore because she feels like she's literally the only person looking out for Adrian.
I think that's what she means, yeah.
And, I mean, also, like, it would suck to truly piss Gabriel off because right now she is relying... Well, I guess unless she got in good with Tomoe. And, because I'm like, she's got all of those robotic legs and things going on. And I can only assume that Gabriel is footing that bill for her. So...
That's fair.
Yeah, we can come back. Well, I'll see if there's anything else on Natalie in that line. But it's interesting. It seems like we're gonna have a. So anyway, anything else on Lila? I mean, I think it's just gonna be.
She's the worst. I hate her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In episode 17, so she orchestrates this plan in order to. Not even the plan isn't even to get the Miraculouses in episode 17. No, it's just to have Marinette expelled using a villain. It's hilarious.
Just to get rid of her.
Yeah, because that's all she was tasked to do was get rid of Marinette.
So that's what's interesting. She goes from pretty small potatoes motivation of just like be Gabriel's get rid of Marinette conduit into a major force in the show now.
Yes.
So that shift should be very interesting. But
And that's a big shift too, because I mean, she knows who Monarch is.
she should go. If you think about it, like from a bigger overall perspective, you want revenge on Monarch. You know who Monarch is. You should go to Ladybug if you can.
Yeah.
That kind of makes the most sense.
She may also be just a little bit too prideful to go to Ladybug. Like.
Yeah, I think she doesn't like Ladybug. Yeah.
No.
So who else could she go to? It'll be interesting.
No, I think she's just going to blackmail Monarch.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I don't want this, but this is going to happen. Or maybe she does try to tell Ladybug, and Ladybug's like, okay.
Like, never follows up on it.
Yeah, Marinette wouldn't believe her, so that
and then also, the problem is, they already suspected Gabriel, and he tricked them.
Oh, yeah. He akumatized himself.
Such a
Twice.
good move. Such a good move.
Twice.
Remember back in the heyday when he was smart and doing cool things?
Like babies.
And had April as a fan, and now he's lost his one fan. So sad.
Oh, sweet.
I'm telling you, he has like cataclysm brain cancer.
Yeah, we don't know who Monarch is. We love Hawkmoth. Like, we stand him.
It's actually funny. Tanya was like, "Who's Monarch?" And I was like, "Oh, it's
who's Monarch."
Like, we stand Hawkmoth. We hate Monarch.
Even give us Scarlet Moth. We'll take Scarlet Moth over.
Scarlet Moth. That'll be great.
Just Monarch. Get out of here. What do you think of Gabe at the beginning of 17 making raclette to make all of Adrian's games come true?
I love that Natalie uses that against him.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were trying to make all of Adrian's dreams come true. So you're going to tell him he can't go to the dance with Marinette?
Oh my God, that was good.
Any raclette thoughts? I did not know what this is.
I just thought he pancakes. Like, that's just what I assume he's making when he's cooking.
Yeah, he's always making pancakes, so.
And then he's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. My arm hurts.
Melted cheese on boiled potatoes.
That sounds amazing.
Sounds good.
Apparently. I had to look it up. Okay. Speaking of Gabe, Adrinette, and the new direction of the show is Gabriel getting in the way of Adrinette now, which feels like it kind of came out of nowhere, right? Like, he's never really stood in opposition to Adrinette until recently.
It wasn't until it was
Tomoe made it a problem.
Yeah. Until she made it a problem, and she's like, "You better hold up your end of the bargain." And I'm like, "What is the bargain? Spill the tea."
I have to say, I love this direction though, because I think this is like arguably the two most interesting aspects of Miraculous Ladybug. The lore, the strongest element of the lore, which I think is Adrian as a Sentimonster, ever since it came up in season 3. The strongest element of the lore and the strongest element of the romance, which is like Marinette and Adrian about to get together, and the show is putting the two in opposition and prominently next to each other.
And them not knowing who the other is in terms of Ladybug and Cat Noir.
And then it also plays into the identity stuff too. I think it's a great storytelling decision. It's like when I felt like Owl House was at its most successful in season 2, it's like the Sentimonster, the
Sentimonster.
The Sentimonster stuff in Owl House was very prominent. Lumity was very prominent. Grimwalkers, right? Like I feel like the show highlighting its biggest. So I'm a huge fan of this. It does feel kind of random, but the show has been progressing stuff episode to episode, super serialized this season, building off of this now. So now Gabriel in the way of Marinette and Adrian, even though he's like fully, I guess this is a way to build him back up as a villain. He's fully incompetent of getting the Miraculouses. There's no shot, but he's in the way of the couple now.
Well, I guess no, because not even last episode or in Adoration, no one was really. I mean, he kind of like mentioned getting the Miraculouses, but
doesn't seem like he cares anymore. And there's no villain in Motion.
Yeah.
Well, he says I can't akumatize any more people. I'm going to die soon. So
yeah. So I mean, it's really interesting to see him not try and get the Miraculouses. Like,
yeah, he's just trying to get Adrian and Kagami together. But the big things he does, and Marinette finally says in Adoration that she loves Adrian, and they go to kiss, but then Gabriel comes out of the shadows and says, "No."
Spooky Gabriel comes out of the shadows.
That was such a good
Adrian's
move.
like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
So sad.
Well, he's like, I think you should go. Like, oh, so sad.
And then in emotion, they're about to kiss again, and but he gets in the way kind of indirectly, and she says she loves him to Felix. So Marinette said she loves Adrian twice now, by the way. So big Adrinette progression. And then at the end, he says he orders Adrian not to bring Marinette up. And Marinette's going to go have a heart to heart with her, with Gabriel. So
that's going to go so well.
Two almost kisses in these 2 episodes for.
And Kagame is going to have a heart to heart with her mom, too.
Yes, too, which we could get more information from that.
All right, this is what's going to happen. All right, here's the finale.
Okay.
Adrian and Marinette are finally going to kiss, and then
yes.
Adrian's going to find out he's a Sentimonster.
And we're going to put the kiss off again?
No, it's going to be both of these things are going to happen.
Okay. Are we putting the kiss off until the finale?
Yep.
Even though they were seconds from kissing in these 2 episodes.
We had to wait 5 seasons for them to be a couple.
Yep.
We have to wait half a season.
I know, but there's like
kiss.
6 more episodes until the finale. Like,
right.
we're really not going to do it, even though
we're going to have to. We have to really play up this like he can't because his dad sucks.
Yeah.
Which is fun
because he's a Sentimonster.
Yeah, and all of the plot lines converging. I agree. It's fun. It's just I still think the kiss thing is not that big of a deal because they kissed in episode 9, just not quite as Marinette and Adrian.
Yeah, Marinette did a thing. She was telling Nino and Ollie about it. It's a thing now.
Oh yeah, I love that she gave them such a hard time. She's like, I was told to stop doing this.
Yeah.
So good.
So anyway, so in terms of Adrinette though, we had the big progression. They're about to kiss twice. Marinette says she loves him. So there's nothing in the way now of them after we had. Nope. So
she seems so much more comfortable with him. I love it.
Yeah. Prior to these few episodes, Marinette was the one in the way of like building up to her being comfortable with it. And now she's ready, but now Gabriel's in the way.
Gabriel is hardcore in the way.
So what's next for Marinette and Adrian?
Can we talk about how Andre finally got his closure?
He was so happy. He was like, I'm done. My mission on Earth is done.
Yeah, Andre is like, I'm done. I can leave.
He's so dramatic with it, yeah. But then then he gives the throuple the
also
the boys, y'all. Why is it?
Also, I'm like the flavors he chose and the reasons behind them were just kind of creepy to me. He's like mint, like Adrian's eyes, and then he said vanilla because of his skin.
Why not?
Because of his personality.
And then the blueberry for Marinette's hair, and then the rose for her perfume. And I'm like, are you out here sniffing Marinette? What's
I know,
up?
that was kind of creepy.
But vanilla.
Look, I'm just happy for him. He's like, I'm done. I can retire.
Yeah,
and then he complained about making the ice cream for Marinette,
it's so funny.
Kagame, and Adrian.
Look, this throuple is real, and I think, like, in an ideal world, the throuple would happen, but we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that being said, Marinette says in Adoration, I think she says the 2 people, it doesn't have to be... why couldn't he be in love with 2 people or no one at all? So she mentions throuple.
Yeah. But I will say he did it for them, and he didn't like he kind of complained, but he did it because the last time he was like, I'm not doing it for the 3 of you.
Yeah, but he knows they're in love now. So.
Yeah,
so he's like, fine, here.
Have your ice cream.
Just saying that emotion starts with Marinette and Adrian almost kissing and ends with the throuple together. So maybe that's the direction we're going in.
I'm fine with that. Works for me.
Let's do it.
Yeah, just bring Luca back so he can get on it.
Luca.
No, how about Zoe gets in on it? How about that? Bring Zoe.
I'm fine with Zoe. Luca can stay away.
The polycule with Zoe in it, right? Any other Adrinette thoughts? And prediction on what's next for them?
I think they're going to continue to date, but it's going to be, you know what? I almost wonder if Marinette figures something out.
Yeah.
Because, like, even
isn't it possible Marinette goes to talk to Gabriel and figures out something with Adrian being a Sentimonster?
Yes. And I think because she's pointing out, like, the weird things, you know what I mean? Like, like, oh, isn't he kind of acting weird? And that was very sweet of Tiki at the end of Adoration to be like, yeah, but you did it. And I was like, yeah, but there's another more serious problem here. Tiki, shut up.
Okay, also, Tiki's like, yeah, that was weird. Can I have your ice cream?
Right.
Like, Tiki, oh my God.
But like,
bring back Sweet Tooth Tiki.
But
that was a really good callback. So that was the worst.
I was concerned. I was like, wait, you're just going to give her the ice cream? No,
Not
we
a good
watched
idea.
that episode.
I know that episode. Somewhere Plog is yelling. Plog is like, oh God.
Oh God, did someone give Tiki sugar? Like, it's going to be B whenever I'm reintroduced to sugar.
Yeah, bro, you're going to turn into Tiki.
You're Tiki.
I'm
Okay,
Tiki.
I could see it though. Yeah, I love Marinette learning stuff about it, but I think one thing about doing the almost kiss, putting them, it feels like Marinette and Adrienne are a little on the back burner to the Sentimonster stuff right now.
Well, and I think
it's the vehicle.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see if they are putting out finale. It's hard to see what major romance moments are next. You know, it's like, well, what else can we see them do? I guess they could go on a date now, an official, I mean, they already did, but go on,
I want them to have
date.
an awkward dinner with Marinette's parents.
Oh, that'd be good. Meet
Aww.
Marinette's parents. Yeah, they could
You
do
know
that.
what? I don't think it would be awkward because Adrian's such a good boy, and her parents already love them.
They know Adrienne already too.
Yeah,
so awkward. Like they're gonna be weird about it.
The Agrest family dinner though would be great with
with Natalie,
and the gorilla there too.
Yeah.
Oh no! So I fully expect Marinette to show up, and Natalie's like, "Oh, are you here to talk to Gabriel? Please come inside." And then she's gonna be like, "Gabe, you have a guest," and he's gonna be like,
Gabe's
"Oh my
in the
God."
middle of making pancakes.
And Natalie's like, Natalie is gonna be like, "OMG!" Like it's gonna be so good. Like
Natalie's here for the drama. Gabriel's so mad.
And Natalie's like, yes.
Did we do this joke already? So Marinette, Gabriel finally accepts that Adrian's dating Marinette. Marinette comes to meet Adrian's parents. Just Gabriel though. Gabriel comes up wheeling the dead wife out, saying, "You're here to meet both of us. Here's Adrian's mom."
Full coffin, and
bringing
Natalie's
the coffin
there
out,
too,
and he props Emily in the coffin up at the dinner table, and
because.
No, they're eating in the dead wife garden.
They're eating
they're
in the
having
dead
a
wife
picnic
garden.
in the dead wife garden with the butterflies all around. Oh, so I love this. But Adrian's like, Marinette, I need you to meet my father and my two moms.
Yeah.
Okay, but Adrian's also like, oh my God, my mom's been here this whole time.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh yeah, he doesn't know
does
she's
not know. We're also due for Adrian.
Oh yeah, Adrian needs to find out.
He needs to know everything, right? He doesn't know anything.
I need him to accidentally stumble upon the garden.
Also, Hot's dying. Like, what we have to pencil in?
Adrian is going to. Right, in theory, by the finale, Adrian's going to learn Marinette's Ladybug. His dad is Monarch. His dad is dying. His mom is actually alive and in the basement. Kind of a lot here.
Adrian's gonna
around alive.
Actually, biologically dead, but in theory alive.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Preserved.
Potentially alive. And Natalie has known about all of this, and this could be sad. Yeah.
He's gonna be really mad at some people.
What could we have a big Chat Blanc Redux kind of episode where?
Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's deserved.
But he was akumatized, so
I know, just like him, some big Felix-esque emotional villain turn for.
So Ladybug got leveled up and into a new suit. He can go full he could Super Saiyan into Chat Blanc. I don't know.
That'd be good. Super Saiyan in the Chat Blanc. Let's do it.
Yep.
Okay, that's done. Let's any other Adrinette predictions? We have some good going to dinner theories. That's totally gonna happen next. But yeah, next maybe a date next. Okay. Anyway,
I wonder if Natalie will step in and
Natalie could facilitate their relationship in secret, right? Or counteract the order.
Because Natalie's 1000% on board with all of this, and so I wonder if Natalie. Marinette goes to meet, she just charges in and she's like, I'm going to talk to Gabriel. And Natalie's like, oh, well, talk to me instead. That way she can, you know, like, it's like whenever, you know, you ask mom or dad if you can do something and he says no, and then you go and ask mom and she says yes. Like that.
I go to ask mom, and mom says, "Go ask your real mom in the garden."
Yeah, go into the basement.
Go to. No, it's true. Natalie could be super involved with Adrinette coming up. That would be interesting
because she's already like been very involved. Like, she's very pro this relationship, and so
what if Natalie is like trying to like skulk around and facilitate their relationship, and then she
absolutely
accidentally learns that Marinette's Ladybug.
Oh.
And then she defects because of that.
Or Natalie accidentally says something and Marinette figures out that Adrian's a Sentimonster.
Or that, there's we're on the precipice of so much here.
There's so much potential. Thomas, are you writing all of this?
I think Natalie, I don't know. So like,
you say when the whole season's aired elsewhere. Yeah.
So if she were to find out Marinette's Ladybug, she would tell Marinette on purpose that he's a Sentimonster.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe she goes to Marinette, whether or not she knows she's Ladybug, and just tells Marinette in order to like, what should I do? Should we tell him? This will break his heart.
But yeah, because we also don't know what would potentially happen if, like, to Adrian, if both Natalie and Gabriel die.
Yeah, we can get back to that conversation of what if but Amelie is in stasis, and
yes,
Adrian is fine, so it should be okay.
Assuming she's in stasis, because he could very well be attached to her.
I will say I don't think necessarily that it matters if they're alive or not. I think the main issue is be like, who's going to get the rings?
Yeah, yes. The rings and who has the Peacock Miraculous, I think, are what's most important. Yeah.
Well, we know who's got the Peacock Miraculous.
We know that. Okay.
That's not a secret.
We'll talk more about Zoe.
Sweet Zoe.
Zoe in
she's such an icon.
Yes.
She says that she's dropping hints all episode that she likes Marinette, but Marinette thinks
she's not picking up any of them. No.
Likes Adrian. She has this picture that she's hiding.
It's so good.
So cute.
But at the end,
I really like too that the mayor is like, I think you should do this. It's so good.
Yeah.
They have such a cute relationship.
I love that he's like such a father figure to her, because she obviously does not have one. But
not to Chloe. But you mean Anax? Yeah. Our good friend Anax.
Yeah.
So let's go through the scene at the end. She's she has this look of Marinette in her eyes as she stares at Marinette about who she likes, and Marinette says, "Oh," and she says, "I'm truly very honored." Zoe says it's a relief to get off her chest, and she encourages her to tell Adrian. Zoe says she's been waiting to tell her since the day she met her, but she thought it'd be pointless to Marinette, and she can see it doesn't change anything. This is like, even if they went the kind of like not directly verbalized route with the look and Marinette saying, "Oh," afterwards, Zoe says, "I've been wanting to tell you since the day I met you," so it is explicitly stated after, right?
Yeah. That's it. They had such a mature conversation. Like, even Marinette being like, "Zoe, I think you should still tell Adrian. I know," you know what I mean? Like, dang, why are these kids so old?
Yeah. Well, apparently they're ninth graders, at least Marinette is, which we didn't know. But
their school system's super weird over there.
Delaney, how shocked were you that? How shocked were you that this scene at the end explicitly stated that after 8-9 years, Ladybug has an explicit queer character?
So I guess I wasn't that shocked at the end of the episode, because like the whole episode was it. So I was mainly shocked that the episode exists.
Yeah, they built up to it really well in the episode. The season built up to it really well, because we were speculating after the Kwame's choice that we both thought Zoe was liked girls, and I think you were specifically said Marinette. That was a great call. That is very naturally well built up by the season.
It's good stuff.
it's beautiful, the scenes, the conversation Zoe and Marinette have, and Zoe confessing to Marinette with the look in her eyes, and then further validated by Marinette and Adrian looking at each other. They have the same reflection of the opposite when in the scene after this, like how Zoe is the reflection of Marinette. It's not like that this is a revolutionary scene in the context of queer representation in animation at this point, considering we've had several shows have explicitly gay things at this point, although, 5 years ago that wasn't the case.
To have the show like Ladybug, which airs all over the world, and then also like to have a show over time become more gay, I don't think we've had that. Like, if we're talking about queer animation, we're talking about shows that are like these are the shows. The gay is happening. I mean, another example would probably be Voltron. But granted, Voltron, I don't think they did it in the best possible way. But like,
I guess Voltron's the best comparison. Like She-Ra and Steven Universe eventually get explicit, but it was there the whole time, right? Yeah. Like Ladybug isn't the same. Yeah.
Like Ladybug is not a queer-coded show. Like this is.
Eventually, they introduced Rose and Julica being super affectionate, and that's been very coded. And Mark and Nathaniel, and they've been like hyping that up in the background for a little while now. And it makes it lulls you into a state of like, that's all that the show's going to be, right? And then they have like a major secondary character at this point in Zoe, even though she just existed starting in season 4, be explicitly liking girls and liking Marinette specifically. It's pretty phenomenal that Ladybug went there. I mean, I think things like Delaney said, to understand as the show does not have the same level of restriction as a show that airs on Cartoon Network or another network in the U.S.
Or a Netflix show.
Yeah.
A Netflix show especially, which,
like, honestly,
have
this is
zero
the
restrictions.
Stuff, like, when we talk about Avatar, we wish Avatar would have had this. Like, obviously, we end The Legend of Korra, and again, even then, that's, that kind of began it all. That's still not, like, like the epitome of what we would want out of a show. But, like...
And even that is less direct, you could argue, than Zoe at the end of this episode.
Yeah. And then so now to have a show that is still running, and we're now like, and then to introduce this, and again, like what you were saying, like the fact that it's Marinette, like it's this character in love with the main character of the show.
Yeah.
Also, we're not just like waving Zoe off. Like they're literally hanging out the next episode.
And they followed up next episode with them hanging out. We can talk about how we want the show to how the show handled that. But yeah, we've talked about it a lot, but to summarize, that Ladybug airs globally. It's airing models dependent on it airing globally, including in literal China, which it'll be interesting to see if this episode eventually airs there, even in a country like Brazil or Japan, and even in France. Like the show's been censored itself. Last episode with the police messaging episode got censored, and then there's recently been upheaval in France that shows that the country could absolutely use the episode that they censored last year.
Yeah.
So it's not like France has the greatest track record with airing the show either. And so to go through all of that, make this explicitly queer episode scene to follow up on it, make it a legitimate plot, and then the show.
Well, even also now that in the United States and elsewhere, but the fact that Disney is airing the show.
Yeah.
And Disney is happily airing this without restriction. And this is a larger discussion, not really about Ladybug, but in the face of increasing recent political pushback against especially queer children's media. So all of these things considered, not that all of these are explicitly factors of Ladybug, it's a huge kudos to Thomas and the writers and to the producers of the show and everything for this going through, and this being such a lovingly handled episode and plot line and character with Zoe. And even all the Rose, Julica, Mark, and Nathaniel stuff has been, even if it's been relegated to the background, kind of not explicitly, has been lovingly presented multiple times throughout the seasons.
Are like the best. Like they're so great.
So this show really, it's a show that we never imagined would be remotely explicitly progressive, and has gone from great environmental messaging up until societal policing messaging to the legitimate queer representation now, and it's really fantastic. And didn't think our little stupid superhero show would come this far. And it's really like, it's not even like, oh, Ladybug did like a very special episode. Like, this is just like it's great content. It's a great romance story that's a non-traditional story. Like, it's a show that's so centered around one couple, to have another character say
yeah,
that's
the other thing. Like, that's something that I don't think is, you don't really see that. So that was really, like, I think that was kind of really bold.
Like, it's like, it's nice that I got it off my chest to Marinette, and we can still be friends and nothing's changed, and that's really great messaging too. I mean, we've seen maybe a similar thing with Luca, and I think this is even better handled than Luca liking Marinette, but although that's also been wonderfully, like, Luca still being friends and Luca providing her with advice, and we kind of present this as well. And then side note, everyone loves Marinette, as Delaney has said in the past.
Obviously, I'm totally fine with, like, Zoe and Marinette and Kagami and Marinette, but, like, what if we just shove Zoe and Kagami together?
That's a good the people that Marinette and Adrian don't end up with. Yeah. It could be interesting. I think they're not that similar. I wonder if they know each other.
I don't know. I will say Zoe has a lot of the what's the word? Traits that she's looking for in Adrian. So
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. But I loved Marinette and Zoe's conversation about her crush earlier in the episode too. Not just that scene at the end.
It's so good.
So I can relate to not having trouble telling the person she loves how she feels, which she said before is, like, complicated, and this episode expounds upon that here. Marinette says, when you love someone, nothing's impossible, nothing's forbidden, love has no boundaries. Marinette said, love wins. Marinette said, Pride Month, even though it's over,
Marinette
right?
Said, Marinette said gay rights. And that's also this is my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, happy birthday, Delaney. Marinette says, nothing's forbidden, love has no boundaries. But they're in love with someone else. I think the show, like, really interestingly has Marinette specifically using he pronouns about Zoe's crush assuming, and then Alia does that as well. Which I think is
very pointed. It was very good.
Very pointed. Like, I think that was, and then contrasted with the way Zoe's acting around Marinette. I thought that was incredibly done. Marinette says, why couldn't he be in love with two people or no one at all, about, like, potentially Adrian or someone else? So, like, validating asexualness or polyamory, right? Like, Marinette there, it's all, like, very subtly presented, but these very queer positive messages coming from the main character of the show in this scene. And just very natural conversation, despite, like, being purposefully kind of queer positive coded in the conversation. I thought it was fantastic dialogue. Honestly, both these scenes so incredibly written with the dialogue and everything else. And then Marinette making the assumption it's about Adrian, which is tied in very well. But yeah, I love all of their interaction steps. And then next episode as well, they're going to go to the movies together. Although Marinette bails on Zoe. What do we think of that?
Zoe kind of, like, tells her to go, though, at the same time.
Is Zoe being too accommodating of Marinette with Adrian?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe in a Luca-esque manner.
A supportive friend. Like,
Luca was also a supportive friend.
Yeah, but Luca was a different kind of supportive friend.
So, like, the problem with this show is that everyone loves Marinette way too much, which is not their fault, because she's literally perfect. Like, who wouldn't?
I mean, Gabriel doesn't like her.
He doesn't even know her. He's literally a butthead.
That's true.
Like, so I think the main issue is everyone is just stupid when it comes to Marinette. I think that's the main problem, is everyone's just dumb.
Everyone gets, like, Marinette brain.
Yeah, basically.
But, like, Marinette brain whenever, like, how Marinette was with Adrian.
Yeah, basically, they're like, yeah, whatever, yeah. Like, yeah, I think that's what happens. Like, Marinette starts talking, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, basically, like, because everyone's stupid. Like, I think that's the problem.
I think it's probably healthy for Zoe to, like, still treat things normally and still, like, encourage her friends and stuff like that. So I think that's all great. I think you have and it's good for Marinette to still hang out with her normally and stuff. There's, like, an argument to be made that Marinette heard a confession from Zoe and still wants to, like, go to the movies with her. There could, could Marinette have some sort of feelings for Zoe as well, Like, I think that's a potential interpretation of what's going on.
Marinette's also just a really good friend, so...
She's a very good friend, but, I don't know, she seems like Marinette really likes Zoe. I think bi Marinette is a totally valid interpretation of
yes.
Yes.
I personally think Marinette is Pan.
Yeah, that we could.
Ooh.
All beings, human or Sentimonster.
Yes.
That's a key.
It's important.
Yeah.
Not that she knows, but
Once she knows, though. Once she knows.
yes.
Once she knows.
What's next for Zoe with Marinette?
She's just her buddy, but I do think we should put Zoe and Kagami together. At the very least, Kagami needs a friend who's not Lila. Oh my god.
Remember, Zoe was flirting with Alia as the superhero, though.
That's true.
That was also great. That was also
Zoe's just a flirt. I'm here for it.
The show's presented Alia in this episode as kind of like an oblivious straight person with Nino.
Yeah.
So that's sad, but Alia should be bi too.
I just hope that Zoe and Marinette stay good.
Alia and Marinette are in love with each other. Like that's just like.
And also, that's the OG Delaney ship, right?
That's the OG Alia and Marinette. Like
OG.
we haven't had enough Alia and
Delaney,
Marinette.
when you were shipping Alia-Nette, did you ever think that we would be at this position?
No.
With another girl that was not introduced until season 4. I think that it's a little like from a queer perspective and Zoe supporting perspective, it's kind of a little annoying that we go immediately into the straight couple, but it's obviously the headline of the show. And that's another, by the way, thing in terms of everything we said about this show and presenting Zoe as gays. It's also like inherently like straight couple, forward, prominent about this love square type of show, and to have this in that type of show, not in like an overall queer show, is also like a different and fantastic like way of presenting queerness in a different type of show. But Zoe goes immediately to encouraging Marinette to go after Adrienne in both scenes.
Zoe knew she had no chance. Like Zoe knew that.
Yeah, it wasn't about that, which is clear. It wasn't about having a chance. It's about her feelings like being validated and her saying them, and about her living her truth and stuff like that, you know? But what's next in terms of Zoe? It's like, I love them following up with Marinette and Zoe still being friends and hanging out, and Zoe still being involved in the Adrienne stuff.
But we should also give Zoe a girlfriend.
But we should all present Zoe's queerness not in relation to Marinette as the next step. I think Delaney and I've had this conversation. We've had like a million times in the podcast in terms of the next step.
I mean, there's a bit of an age difference, but it should be. I can never remember her name.
Who would it describe?
The older girl that Marinette likes.
So Clean.
So Clean, yeah. So
2 years, with So Clean.
Yes.
Because we speculated So Clean was also in love with Marinette too.
I mean, I still think that's probably true. I think
Marinette had a crush on
Can't be with Marinette. How about
but
with Marinette's stunt double? How about that?
Yeah.
Stunt double.
No, I definitely thought Marinette had a crush on So Clean. Also, like this show, which this is what I like about this show, because I read a book series where like the main character, and he was a guy, like everyone was in love, like literally every character is like in love with him. And that's what I like about Ladybug is like everyone is clearly in love with Marinette. Like it's really great. Like
it's incredible. The show has gone a very refreshing. The premise of the show is, here's my interpretation: the platonic ideal of the two teenagers in love with each other, the pretty teenage couple in love with each other. And so one of them, you have, actually he's so perfect, he's actually like a fake human, and we're going to build this into the mythology of the show. And the other, it's like, actually everyone's in love with her. It's very validating. It's like, we're not just like ignoring that these people are so awesome. Like, they are, and it's in the show. It's all there.
They've spelled it out for us.
Yep.
I think ideally Zoe and Marinette hanging out is great. Maybe Zoe talking to someone else about liking girls, her having a crush on someone else, being with someone else. That'd be fantastic.
Can we have like Zoe, Angelica, and Rose like having a meeting?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that would be great if they all talk together.
Or just the three of them enjoying ice cream together. That would be so nice.
Rose is just screaming the whole time.
It would be so good.
I really enjoy the drama of being like, and one of them is in the 9th grade, and so you're never gonna see them again.
Right?
like it's not that serious.
So did we know Marinette was in the 9th grade and Zoe was in the 8th grade?
We need to talk about this, because that creates... It
creates stakes for the end of the season. It means that Marinette and Adrienne and everyone are graduating from that school at the end of the season, which I guess we knew because So Clean left. So that was the predecessor to this. Yeah. And they said she was a year above them. So yeah, they're going to be separated from the 8th graders, which I guess is Zoe and maybe other. I mean, anyone that's not in Marinette's class, I guess, is eligible. So, but they're moving schools, so it's kind of is like the end of the era at the end of season 5. They're going to be at a different school potentially.
Potentially.
In 2 weeks.
Has to have her baby. She's going to have a baby.
She needs to have the baby.
Time ever.
Okay, what's gonna happen first? The 2 weeks they're graduated. Miss Boosty has the baby.
No.
Or Gabriel dies.
Gabriel's definitely gonna die.
From his cataclysm.
We
have several timers, right? Happening with the show.
There's a lot going on.
I forgot I was gonna.
Okay, but if Zoe's a year younger than all of them, and Chloe's the same age as Marinette.
I'm trying to figure this out, and it doesn't make any sense.
So who is Zoe's father? Or does this mean that what's her face had
an affair? That's what it seems like. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't remember the original episodes. Zoe's a
maybe that's why,
the
like,
answer.
Zoe's a Sentimonster.
Maybe that's why the mayor tries so hard. He's like, please don't have another affair and have another baby.
Yeah, that is true. And he going over, giving her the whatever in that scene. Did you notice that in episode 17, they are planning for a dance on the Eiffel Tower? In episode 18, there is a dance, but it is not that dance.
No.
Yes, there's going to be another dance.
So there's going to be a second dance, which is probably the finale, right?
Diamond Ball is not associated with their school in any way.
So in the span of like less than 10 episodes, there will be 2 dances happening.
I'm excited, honestly.
Yes. Also, the Diamond Ball is the most bougie thing ever.
Also, like, it wasn't even a thing. Like, it was so not a thing.
And then they just invented it, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not, what is it?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, no.
Gotta check my text. Hold on for a second.
Why?
Oh, guess who just texted us?
Oh. Sarah?
Me specifically.
No, it's Luca.
Not really, you guys. It's Luca.
No.
Should I read it?
I guess.
Okay. I got a chance. I'm very surprisingly supportive of reading Luca's text, Delaney.
I'm surprised too.
Okay, I guess I got to get into my impression of Luca. Remember, Luca's not here. This is me reading his text.
You can just read his text.
Okay. Dear, hey guys. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that to start off. He didn't say, hey guys.
Start it off with Dear Dylan?
Hey dudes. He said, Dear my best friend Dylan. That's how he started the text.
So annoying.
Dear my best friend Dylan, say hi to my other best friends, Delaney and April, for me. Luca says hi, guys.
Oh,
hi, Luca.
Just thinking of you all as I'm here in Shanghai with...
I knew it. That's where he was.
Yeah.
I had the sense that Marinette was here, so I had to come visit Shanghai and go to the Pearl Oriental Tower, I think. And it's quite the view over all of Shanghai as I stand here with my dad and what's her name?
What's her name?
Penny. And Penny.
Penny.
We're having such a good time traveling the world.
Picked up a new hobby of just chain smoking. Like
that's always what Luca sounds like. This is my impression. I mean, it's my impression of Luca. It's not perfect.
I think it sounds a little bit more chain smokery than normal.
I've sent Marinette 500 letters and she's doing well. Don't worry about that.
Good.
I want Luca to write me a letter.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Delaney. I didn't forget you. Hi again. It says that in the text. I heard that the last podcast episode that you guys were on with my Luca's Lyrics podcast has 5 million views. So thank you guys for being on my podcast again.
Is it because he listened to it 5 million times?
Absolutely.
My dad loves my podcast and listens to it repeatedly.
No, it's all the crocodile.
Oh yeah.
Fang's here too. He says hi.
Yeah, Fang. No, it's just Fang. Fang just listens to the podcast on loop. Whenever
he's feeling anxious.
Yep.
All the time.
All the time. It's Gorilla and Fang.
Mm-hmm.
I miss you guys, and I'm doing well. Don't worry, and I hope emotionally the sounds of your hearts are in tune.
Okay.
I can't really play them for you through a text, but I'm sure they're doing great. I'll listen.
Like a bunch of guitar emojis.
Yeah.
Guitar, sing
So many
emoji,
guitar
sing
emojis.
dancing woman emoji,
Yes.
monkey no look emoji.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm off to, well, I guess you'll find out when I text you next. So, I hope all of you are doing well. Love.
Did you get like a new SIM card? Like you're texting us from China. Like what's...
And my dad hooked me up with a universal SIM card. Love, your best friend, Luca. Okay. Thank you, Luca.
Like the right on this text message.
Thank you, Luca. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the longest text I've ever received.
That's not true. I text you.
Like one word at a time. It's let's be real.
Okay, but previously I've sent you like novels.
Yeah, that's the Luca's back in old internet with Skype messages. Okay, thank you. We love Luca keeping us updated. Okay, that's good. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Not Luca.
Your horrible soundboard ding message.
Ding.
That's I got a text. There's no sound. I got a text.
Is that the actual
was it
sound
loud?
your phone makes?
It wasn't loud, but it was like
I think I mean, yeah, that must be the sound. It must be because that's what it played when I got a text.
That's the noise my computer plays whenever I get a text.
I think that's.
Oh,
Anyway,
Luca's just FaceTimes Dylan all the time.
Every day.
Anyway, speaking. Oh yeah, we've been FaceTiming. Don't worry. But he also likes to write letters like that through text.
Except he doesn't write his best friends Delaney and April. So.
Yeah, where's my letter?
You guys were included. I think Delaney blocked his number, so I think that's what happened.
I absolutely blocked his number. That is correct.
Speaking of Luca, by the way, I was very distraught that they visited the houseboat and Luca was not there in one of these episodes.
You knew he wasn't gonna be there.
But how are you gonna visit? Anarka was there.
Yeah, she lives
and
there.
There's no Luca.
Luca doesn't live there.
Just rubbing it in my face
what
that
if
Luca's
they just
not there.
Hand over his empty bedroom and Dylan.
and I would be weeping. Oh my
and
God,
it's just an empty mattress with no sheets or nothing on
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
And then we briefly get a flash of the ghost of Luca as if he lingers there. As sad music plays.
Like sad piano.
Sad piano, yeah.
Wouldn't it be really funny if Luca shows up in the finale, like, just to go to the dance?
Oh my God.
Wait, he that's a great idea, actually. He shows up just for the dance. That'd be a good idea.
He can't.
He better.
I heard you organized this dance, and I just had to come.
Thanks for doing all the work,
Kitty section is playing Surprise, I'm back to play guitar for Kitty section.
Oh my God, because they sent me an audio recording
of Nino, yeah.
Nino.
I actually think they could do it. That would be so good. Okay. Let's go through what we didn't talk about.
And it'll be fine.
Episodes.
Like, Luca won't be in danger anymore because Hawkmoth will be dead.
Yeah. Gabriel.
What if he comes in and there's about to be the climactic identity reveal, very dramatic, and he's like, "Oh, you guys must have figured this out already, right? That you're a ladybug."
Luca and says, "Hey, I figured out Hawkmoth's identity."
And then they can have a group chat of the only people that are smart enough to figure out an identity in the show.
Yes,
yeah.
The two best characters. Okay.
No.
We talked about Marinette is sketching out a red dress for the dance, so I think we'll see this dress coming.
I hope so. Oh my God.
He made such a big deal about it.
The scene of Chloe in the hotel with Zoe is in charge now. Zoe's Mr. Cuddly, and he calls the butler, Chloe calls the butler Jean Benoit, and Zoe says the butler's real name is Armand.
Zoe would.
This is an extremely big reveal.
This is the biggest reveal for me of the show.
Ever.
The butler's name is Armand. We followed up.
Just out here revealing his secret identity.
Oh man, Armand's. Wow.
Yeah,
that was such a good callback and great way to show Zoe's agency in the hotel. Now, oh my God, it was really well constructed.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is actually their mom being like, "You need my help to bully your sister. Where are my 3 credit cards? Here you are. Bye."
Right.
And then Anax takes out a portrait of himself as the mayor of Paris.
I love that.
That was like so good.
He approves of that being on the Eiffel Tower, so we get an Eiffel Tower dance coming up.
Okay, can we also talk about how they're like, yeah, cutie section's gonna play music, and if people don't want to dance and aren't afraid of heights, then they can jump on the trampoline that's gonna be stretched out across the middle of it.
Yeah, the trampoline thing.
This is terrible. Like,
That sounds like a death sentence for so many.
Yeah, if they don't like
children.
dancing, they can go on the trampoline, and just unless they're scared of heights.
Like, there's no way.
I would jump on a trampoline on the Eiffel Tower.
Absolutely not.
Nope, I'm good. I like being alive.
You have to. It's the Eiffel Tower.
Also, like, I don't really think there's as much room there as they think there is.
Yes.
Look, we have to go and investigate this.
Well, duh, yeah.
Let's go install the trampoline.
Okay, let's go.
All right, can't wait to get arrested. All right.
Just tell them that Thomas sent us. That's when we get arrested.
Thomas sent us. They're like, what are you guys doing? Thomas sent us, don't worry.
They'll know. They'll understand.
I'm on a mission from Ladybug.
Right. All right, going to jail.
Yay.
Can't wait to get by Interpol.
Sabrina's toot toot whistle.
Yes.
How about that?
Toot whistle.
Sabrina's Vanisher with the Adoration power to recall any object.
I can't do that. My dad's a cop.
Right.
Yeah.
Poor Sabrina.
In 2 weeks, we won't see each other anymore. They're a 9th grader. Yep.
Yeah,
so it's going to be
forever.
sad, Marin.
They'll never
Marin and Zoe separated forever, even though they're like go to the movies, so clearly they can.
And there's only so many people in Paris.
Yeah, there's literally 20 of you.
You might think, could Felix possibly snap away every single person in Paris until there's just the 3 of them left? But then you remember there's only 60 people in Ladybug in the Paris world,
Not
in
even.
this universe in Paris. So he really just did them all during that one song. He's just snapped everyone away during that one song.
There's like, that's it.
Because literally everyone in Paris was like, I'm going to come out and see this. And he's like, you guys just made my life so much easier.
Pretty much. Okay, again, it's like when you watch like Avengers, I'm like, why are y'all going outside? Go in the building.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Is Felix a Thanos ripoff?
Maybe.
Yes.
I guess he snapped everyone away at once. Felix has to do it one at a time.
I will say I do enjoy it because it's like, you know, the threat of being snapped away.
Yeah.
It's a good device. Chloe's big intricate speech accusing Marinette.
Such a goober.
Well, then why did she
first
need her phone?
It's first degree phone slaughter, she says, and she says the jury must convict the Baker girl straight away. I rest my case. Treating
also,
it like
the best part is like this has happened before. Like she's so dramatic about her phone all the time.
I like Marinette's gonna melt her gold phone down because Marinette has access to all of those things.
Yep.
Zoe interrupts and Clay says, "Who do you think you are, ruining my indictment?"
Also, okay. Zoe, you can't do this, but it was really sweet. But like, don't go down for Ladybug. Don't go down for Marinette. Don't go down for anybody.
What if Zoe knows Marinette's Ladybug?
That'd be amazing.
I love it.
That's why she went down for.
Yeah.
I mean, she did it for Marinette, but then Ladybug steps in and is like, "This girl is innocent."
Also, the principal immediately is like, "Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and explain right now, Marinette."
It's very silly, but it's like we've seen that a million times.
The worst was her parents. They were like, oh, "Marinette." I'm like, "You know, she didn't do that.
How could you?"
They're just stupid.
They are just stupid. It's true, but I'm just like, really.
And then we talked about the Zoe confession scene, the Marinette confessing to Adrian. It's not how she imagined it, but it feels right. Adrian, I love you. They kiss, and Gabe from the shadows. Adrian, no. I feel strange. Maybe you should go home. I'm sorry. Yeah, sad.
Cry.
So sad.
I love Gabriel lurking from the darkness.
He's the worst.
Ugh. He looks so old. Lurking in the dark.
He's about to die. Come on.
He is. It's true.
Dying has really aged him.
Yes. As one does. In emotion. So we mentioned this line from Lila, Kagami to Lila. Of course not. You're not a precious stone. You're just a stone.
So good.
Oh, that was too direct. I thought this was a good representation of Kagami being autistic, right?
Yes.
Yeah, coded like the bluntness, and then she realizes it later. I thought that's what
she even says I'm not trying to offend you.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
I think that's what they're going for. I feel like we talked about this, right? I'm not making this up in a previous episode. With Kagami. A lot.
She does pedal back though a little bit. She's just like, that's just how my mother and Gabriel feel. kind of thing. So
yeah. And then she's like, no, I don't actually feel this. And Lila's like,
nice.
yeah, I understand. But it is a great line. We talked about Marin and Zoe movie night. Gabriel says Adrian has to follow the order. Natalie, we'll see about that. That's what I meant. Okay.
Yes.
So Natalie ominously says that Adrian isn't going to have to follow the orders. Just, I think, hinting again that she might contradict the orders later. So that could come into play based on his order.
Or just a reminder to him, like, I can contradict you at any moment. Like,
we still don't know why he's like letting Natalie keep the ring, but I guess he just maybe doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
She could probably beat him up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000%.
I guess she just has the ring at this point. I mean, he has the Miraculouses, so he could do something about it, but I don't know. There's probably something more there.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Felix noticing Kagami's ring and gasping. Natalie, sorry, I have no choice. There's always a choice, Natalie, says Amelie. Oh, yeah, how about at the dance, Chloe not knowing it's Marinette there?
I love it.
It's so dumb. And then she's like, I'm Zoe. And she's like, ew.
I'm Zoe, yeah. My underling is Chloe.
Right.
Nobody's perfect. So funny.
And the robot security again, which I think was a follow-up to...
There was no reason. It
was
so good.
And they like dance to the scanning of the robots. Okay. Oh, here's an important thing from Kagami. Kagami looks down at her ring. I am a descendant of samurai women. Okay. Sure. Cool. In my family, you obey orders because you choose to. So again, I think that's a clear implication that she has her akumatized object, even if she doesn't know it.
Yeah.
But she's choosing to obey orders. Yeah.
Yes.
You're not.
Which might also be why Tomoe feels confident in allowing Kagami to have her.
Because she's socialized, beat her into submission, not necessarily ordered her. Yeah. Sad.
Oh, yeah. He's like trying to kill her, like, earlier in the episode.
Right. She's teaching her how to fight for her life.
Oh, yeah. They train again. Yeah, true. You're not as free as you claim, says Felix. Marinette tells Felix she loves him, dances with him. Look closer, Marinette. They're the monsters, says Felix.
And then that's when she realizes it's him.
Yeah, because Adrian wouldn't say something like that.
I figured it out when he was talking to Kagami. I was like, it's Felix. I'm like,
yeah, when he smirks, I think that's when you're supposed to.
I was like, it's Felix.
My queen, he says to Kagami. We don't
need
to play puppets for our parents.
Well, and I love that she's just like, they can't hear us. Why are you doing this? Like.
She's like, you're being a creeper. Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about Adrian's last person I want to hurt. I care about him. Kagami's truly free now. Oh, okay. So Felix snapping his fingers to Gabe's French song from the Kwame's Choice. He adds his own lyrics about him snapping his fingers, going around.
It's so good. 10 out of 10.
We love it. This is my favorite song. I didn't know it had an English adaptation.
So good.
It does now.
I guess in French it would just be another French version of it, but that's okay. A great way of demonstrating kind of Felix being villainous in a big dramatic scene again, contrasting him or comparing him to Gabriel. Really good.
Yes.
We didn't talk about Ladybug being super pissed at Felix from the season 4 finale.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. She was like, I'm gonna beat you up. And he's like, oh my god.
That was also like a really nice fight scene. I enjoyed that. Yes. Because at any moment, Felix could have snapped his fingers, and he he kind of like threatens to, but doesn't, and then that gives her an opportunity to not. And he almost sort of like gives into like I'm not just gonna immediately snap my fingers. I'm gonna play with you a little bit.
I'm still not over the Lucky Charm not being anything. That is the most messed up thing ever.
I died. I screamed.
So she Lucky Charms and there's nothing, I guess, because there's no way out of the situation.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's because he's going to...
The solution is to just... He'll do it himself, so...
yeah.
Because he's actually just a big old softie.
She refuses to hand over the Miraculous, and she kind of like defers him, so he snaps her away, but then she knows later. So it's very interesting.
I do...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I do like that he's like, she's like, it comes at a great cost. And he's like, I have nothing to lose. And she's like, if you say so, like, that's how you feel. Like, she very much, like, turned everything that he sort of, like, said or like against him kind of thing. And then she's just like, okay, I guess I'm going. Bye. Like,
yeah, it's interesting. I guess the last big thing we didn't talk about is, like, what do we think of Felix going for Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous? He says now he needs Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous so he can make a wish for a free world where no one is under anyone's control anymore. No one can decide who gets powers or not.
yeah.
Which was interesting. He identified Ladybug as the guardian, as like a controller.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is really interesting. But he says if you don't let me recreate the world, I'll use my power to transform it. I'll snap my fingers until there's no one left.
Okay.
So it's like, was this his plan all along to get Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculouses when he got the Peacock Miraculous in the first place, or is this just what he did here, like kind of in the moment?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't really see how I just don't see, like, it's hard to see, like, I saw this as this was his attempt at, like, you know, getting some control back. But he, like, I don't think, like, it's hard to imagine him being the next Hawkmoth because he does still have, like, you know, that humanity that Hawkmoth completely lacks.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's just, like...
I mean, he's literally trying to do things for, like, him and Adrian and now Kagame. Like,
and he doesn't really want to, like, I don't think he really cares.
Yeah, I think, like, his big goal is just getting rid of, like, the people who control them in their lives. And I think that almost, like, Ladybug coming in and interfering... He was like, I'll get rid of you too, like, and then he threw in the whole part about like people deciding who do and do not get powers and things like that.
I think it's interesting he views Ladybug as a controller. I think it makes sense. He's really all he cares about is his fellow Sentimonsters, is what this episode presents it as.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And season 4 finale. I think in the season 4 finale he went for the Peacock Miraculous to not just as a vehicle to get the Ladybug and Cat Noir on. I think he wanted it to be able to control the make sure there's no more Sentimonsters created that were then destroyed. Control the suffering.
Yeah.
Take over the factory farming, you know, the means of production. So I think
because
I think this Ladybug and Cat Make-A-Wish thing was like he's angry, so this is kind of what he's going for now. I think that's what I interpreted.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that was like when he, you know, transformed. I don't think that was his intention, was to go after those. But then I think
it could have been, that could have been his intention when he transformed, but I don't think it was his long-term plan at the very least. But it is unclear whether, like, once Ladybug enters the picture, maybe he pivots. That's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, he just wants to transform the world. If he uses the wish, that'd be ideal, but he also just get rid of everyone. But then he realizes that getting rid of everyone's not good, I guess. Yeah. Well,
he only realized it whenever Adrian and Kagame ganged up on him and were like, "Where's Marinette?"
Whenever his fellow Sentimonsters disapprove. Yeah, it's like the combination of his fellow Sentimonsters disapproving, plus the shock of him not being in control, even though he was.
Also, I don't think he knew there was a cost.
Yeah, yes, I don't think he knew there was a cost.
I think like new information.
That's why the other thing, I think he just like vaguely makes the threat of taking away Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculouses because like Monarch has continuously done that, and he's like, oh, they understand that threat, kind of, you know what I mean? Because he does seem shocked whenever he finds out that like there's a cost, like, you know, and he's like, I have nothing to lose, and I'm like, yeah, but you kind of do, so you may say that.
Yeah, so it was presented as Felix kind of got out of control, so it'll be very interesting to see what the next step is for him. Presumably he's gone until the finale, just because that's how the show works, but he still is the Peacock, right?
Yep.
He still wants to stick up for Adrian and Sentimonsters, so he could just go tell Adrian now, but I guess he's probably just going to be written off for a while, which is sad.
Or not. Who knows?
I think this is Felix's best episode.
Yes.
As a character, I think probably for me. It's just the most revealing about him. Finally, they kind of show their cards a little bit with him.
I do think it's funny that every Felix episode he pretends to be Adrian.
That's the move if you're a twin. That's got to be the if you're a soap opera-esque evil twin.
He has to do it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all he's there for. Okay, and I think we went over everything else. Yes, including Gabe's Garrett lines at the end of the episode. Not another word about Marinette again, twiddling the ring. Okay, so we talked about that. But we don't think that's a big deal, but we'll see.
Nope, because the way he phrased it, I love it. There's ways around
Gabe.
things.
Maybe
Gabe.
he'll die. Maybe him dying will be relevant again next episode.
Aw.
Delaney, I am beat. Delaney, any final thoughts?
Hawkmoth's a butthead. That's
We
it.
thought Monarch's
Monarch's a butthead.
Monarch's
we love
a butthead.
Hawkmoth.
Yes. April, any final thoughts?
I'm not just some bottle of perfume.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you tell him.
I identify with that statement so much.
I'm not just some hologram in some watches.
Also,
yeah.
Also, the him saying something like, "My bottles of perfume are images of the Aggress brand too, and you don't see me inviting them to events." I feel like that's something I would say.
That's why you're the number one Gabe stan.
Not
anymore.
We like Hawkmoth. Bring back Hawkmoth.
He's off the rails.
He really is. He's got to have brain damage. Like.
Okay, pull up the outline again. What's the screen cap for the episode?
I think it should be Ladybug and the Red Moon. It's too good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, her angry at the end. Yeah, I agree. That's the best screen cap.
It's the Blood Moon Ball.
What do we think of the Ladybug serial is a C+, but season 5 is an A as the title?
I guess.
I love it.
I was gonna say the Ladybug serial is trash, but season 5 is great. But it wasn't trash apparently.
No.
I mean, you could still make it trash. It's not. I'm not excited to eat the rest of the cereal.
Or
not gonna eat the rest.
The cereal
it's
passes.
the same size box. I'm not excited about it.
That's fair.
The cereal what?
The cereal
cereal's
passes, but the season is off the charts.
Yeah, something like that.
I like that. But yes,
Okay.
please use the Blood Moon image, because that's the best.
The Ladybug serial, well, yeah, I agree. Is okay. Is passive, but season 5 is great. Yeah, something like that is probably
Yes.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
That's our
I
podcast.
believe all the villains are going to come back because of the Blood Moon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just Monarch's MO is just bring back the villains a bunch of
Why
times. So
not?
he's the OG Blood Moon. Let's be
It's
real.
true. It's true.
I like how the Blood Moon was a girl at the end too.
Yes.
Yes. Of course, the moon is a girl. She's a beautiful lady.
It's UA.
Of course. Oh yeah, it's UA. That's true.
Yes.
No, it's UA. Like, come on.
I can't believe that they crushed the fish, and now there's the red moon.
And it's. I know. It's so many
Yes.
things.
Come on, Zhao. Come on. At it again.
Your favorite character, Zhao.
Oh man,
Dang
I guess I have
it.
to love Felix because he caused the red moon. I guess so.
Aw.
I will say I like Felix because he's a little deranged. I like that about him.
He
He's
was
great
so
in
much
this
fun.
episode.
I
He
loved
is
He was
it.
fun here. Him dancing won me over, obviously. Okay. That's it for Adoration and Emotion. Let us know what you thought without spoiler comments.
Please.
Man, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So Ladybug is still weekly. I will say 2 weeks from now I will be away. So I don't know if we can do 2 as the next podcast interval as a warning, but we will figure it out, the 3 of us.
Yes.
Maybe 3 if we are available in 3 weeks from now. But if these 3 episodes necessitate earlier podcasts, we could figure something out. We'll see.
I was gonna say, for all we know, next episode might require a podcast.
It might be the
if this weekend is great, we could do it just on this one episode. We'll see.
We'll see.
And then also the Ladybug movie is coming out on the 28th, I believe. So that's very busy end of July into early August for us.
Are
is
we
coming
gonna
up.
watch it together?
Netflix party?
Yes.
Sure.
Is that still a thing?
We'll figure it
idea.
out.
Maybe. We could. We'll suppose we stream it and then we no, I don't think we
Yes.
can do that. That'd be good.
Aw.
We'll see. But oh yeah, so to the listeners, yes, we'll probably cover the Ladybug movie, but it's not going to be the priority with the show. But I mean, we'll probably
gonna
won't
watch
cover
it.
Can
duh.
we? Oh,
Obviously.
I can't have adult beverages. I was gonna say we could have adult beverages and watch the Ladybug movie.
as one does as an adult.
Yes.
As they do. Okay, thank you to all of our patrons for this podcast. You can support us via patreon.com/overlyanimated, especially our patron of podcast, Anon, and thanks to our patron executive producer, Steve, Michael, and Phoenician. Let us know if you are enjoying. I know you can't say spoiler comments, so I appreciate you guys not spoiling, but do let us know if you're enjoying the podcast. You can leave a comment saying we love it, keep going, stuff like that. No spoilers, but that'd be appreciated.
Let us know how much you love Hawkmoth but hate Monarch.
I see you guys answering on the Spotify Q&A poll, so I didn't do it.
What?
It just automatically posts it for every podcast episode now, but I see you guys, so keep those comments coming on Spotify. So thank you.
What on earth?
I know, right? I just got an email. I was like, "What's happening?
What?
What's happening?" I guess we're getting comments there. I know we go to Spotify though. Yeah, we specifically signed up for that. But yes, this shout out to everyone wherever you're listening. Thank you guys very much for listening. We'll be back at some point on the next few episodes of season 5. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.